Welcome back to Kelleigh Reviews Upper Omnia. Today, I'm finally gonna get around to explaining what the hell happened with these artifacts. First thing to note is that they added in this co-op event here. It'll probably be the first place you start. And if you go and look at the rewards, I already got all the gems and the tickets, so there's just this. You might look at this and be all like, what the hell am I looking at? These are 5-star artifacts for the 6 characters that have synergy in this event, which should be Aerith, Vivi, Yuna, Lion, Sarah, and Cater. Why those 6? I don't know. It's not even one of each color, which I'm a little disappointed about. And there's nothing else even here besides gems, tickets, and armor tokens. It was said that we're probably going to get one of these a month, so every month it looks like it's probably going to be set in stone as to what we're kind of going to get. And I'm fine with that, because it's an extra 2 armor pieces per month that we probably weren't getting before. So, you can get up to, as you can see, 100 of these 5-star artifacts for each of the 6 characters by farming a crap ton of these silver and gold tokens. I don't particularly care for these 6, so I'm probably done here after buying a couple of Aerith just to make sure they level up, like the 4-star counterparts, which they do. It took 3 5-stars and I think like 17 4-stars to get your very first one started onto being max level and LBing to a 6-star, and then after that it became, I think, 11. You take one more, throw in your already MLB'd one, 2 others, and then 11 4-stars to get it back to level 18. And then you keep farming and farming, and these have a much higher chance to be max of whatever stat is going to be on it, which in turn increases chance of being double max stats. And these 6 characters all have 2 new passives that can potentially show up, but they are only as max. There's no other tier to them. And we should note that every single character can now hold up to 5 artifacts in reserve, but you can still only equip 3. For some characters, that's probably not going to matter too much. For others, it will, such as, like, for example, I was working on Faris. I haven't pulled her 35 CP weapon after way too many gems of trying than I should have. And because of that, I'm not using Cannonball this in the Agrius event. But I sure am spamming Mirage Dance with an MLB 15 CP Assassin's Dagger. So I wouldn't mind keeping, you know, a mBrv Cannonball artifact, but there's no point in having it on if I'm not using it in the entire fight. But when I eventually do get a 35 CP weapon, I might want to hold on to it. Maria, one skill is win, the other isn't, in case a boss is weak or resistant to a said element, but you still really want to use them. You could have True Shot in reserve, or Arrow Rain in reserve, and use them appropriately. So, the passives that got added to these 6 characters, I decided to write them up here. I don't know how it's going to translate into the video and like how big it is and how easy it is to read, but I have the name, the Japanese symbols to look out for if you really want these, and I'm going to tell you what all of them do also on the screen. So for Vivi, we have Fire Charge, which increases Fire's max use by 1. I want to assume they stack. I haven't gotten any of those for Aerith to test to make sure, but I want to assume they do. That particular one I don't see being that great. If you need that many more fires, that's a really long fight. And I'm not an expert in VV and knowing how many he has naturally or whatnot. But I would imagine Pabalimo will still always just be better because he actually has a second skill. But his second one here, buff attack speed and speed up, it raises attack by 20% and speed 10% while buffed. And since he has a self buff and focus, this is great. I can see that one easily being a top contender of something he'd want. Yuna has Esuna Charge Boost, which increases Esuna's max use by 1 and raises max Brave by 40%. Of course, this is amazing because that's, again, Yuna's a one-skill character. It's all you're doing. So getting more uses on that, especially since it has high turn rate, you'll blow through them faster. And then it also gives max Brave by 40%. I'm going to assume artifacts can't apply a physical buff on the characters, and then all of this stuff is going to be invisible, which means that's amazing. Her second one is buff attack and boost all, which raises all party members max brave and attack by 10% while buffed. This is definitely going to be an invisible buff and also extremely good. I would say both of these are worth having. Cater has Blizzard Rocket Triple Slip Charge, which just increases both her skills uses by 1. Again, I don't see any of these max usage and nothing else being all too good for anyone. There might be a character down the line that could really use an extra charge of something. Like if they give it to Vaughn, that'll be a game changer. And Cater's second one is buff attack and boost up, which raises max bravery and attack by 20% while buffed. And of course, anything like this is going to be fantastic. Aerith here has Healing Wind Charge and Boost All, which increases Healing Wind's max uses by 1 and raises all party members' max brave by 15%. Again, ones like these I'm going to think are really good. It really depends if it puts a physical buff on the field or if it's invisible. I managed to pull one, and I could easily go check that. I don't know why I haven't before making this video. Before I upload the video, I'll go test it, and then I'll probably put it in the description of if it's a real buff or not. Let's see. Her second one is Prayer of Cetra Charge, which just increases Prayer of the Cetra's max use by 1, which again, I don't see being all that great. Lion has buff attack and boost up, which raises max brave and attack by 20% while buffed, and just like Vivi, this is great, but I'm not sure if she has any self buffs. I'm really not well versed in Lion. Her LC was what was ending when I first started this account, and I don't think I've really read up on all of her gear and extensions to know if she can activate this by herself. And her second one is Powder Keg Charge Boost, which increases max use by 1 and raises max brave by 10%. Again, I'm not well versed in Lion. I don't know if Powder Keg's a good skill. I don't even know what her skills do. I just know she gets more damage if she's not being targeted. This could potentially be good. Again, if it's an invisible buff that raises your max brave, that's always good, because these days synergy characters are seemingly hitting it, or your party composition has more more batteries than your party knows what to do with. And last but not least, we have Sarah, whose are probably actually pretty decent. We have Debuff Attack and Boost All, which raises all party members' max brave and attack by 10% while enemy is debuffed, and of course, she can apply them. So this is also really good. And her second one is Moonlight Charge and Boost, which increases Moonlight's max use by 1 and raises max brave by 20%. Like I said before, if it's invisible, it's great. If it's not, it's a little bit less great. All in all, most of these are pretty good. The only ones I really wouldn't chase are the only ones that have max usage and nothing else attached to them, unless under extreme circumstances. But, yeah. I didn't write a script this time, so I don't know if there's any other information I should say. Oh, quick review of the banners. I wouldn't mind hitting this particular one. I like all three characters, and I'm sort of working on maxing Aerith and Sarah still, but they're kind of like low key. I'd rather look towards the future and max something new or an Elsie character down the road than max any of these now. So this banner isn't particularly bad. I think they really are trying to push Aerith to be better. Sarah's kind of fallen out, and Cater's just there. This banner, however, I think is absolutely terrible, and you should stay away from. That'll be it for today. And remember, grinding for artifacts really sucks. But you can get lucky. Let me show you what I got with Faris over the times. Yeah, you can get lucky still. I'll see you in the next video, which should definitely be a review of Palom's, and I'll see you then. Peace and love.